Register's Report. My name is John Buckley. I'm the Register of Deeds of Plymouth County. This show is about Plymouth County real estate. Our headline for the month was 2022 real estate trends continue into 2023. This is a show being taped in February, but we're reporting on the January recordings at the Registry of Deeds. The Registry of Deeds is where all land records are recorded. They're preserved and protected by being scanned, microfilmed, and indexed. And we have some great offices that are very customer friendly. Our main office is in Plymouth. We have a satellite office in Brockton next to Superior Court, and a satellite office in Rockland over on Hingham Street. So let's get right to the numbers. First number we're going to talk about are deeds, which is sales of property. There were only 513 deeds in January, less than the 701 recorded in December. 22% less than last year's 661 deeds in January of 2022. But year to date, we're down 22% over last year. You're going to see an image of sales. Plymouth County has 27 communities. So you're going to see the sales for January, beginning of the year, all the way from Abington alphabetically to Whitman. Plymouth and Brockton, you can see, have our largest number of recordings, but every community has activity, and the real estate market's relatively slow, but there's still activity going on. So the next part of my story is about mortgages. So since the rates went up, mortgages have really decreased because mortgages now are not for refinances. They're just used to purchase property. There were 1,205 mortgages recorded in January, less than 1,300 in December, but 50% less than last January, again, because nobody's refinancing, or next to nobody's refinancing with these rates. Again, so year to date, we're down 50%. We always follow the issues of foreclosures closely. And it's obviously, if you follow the legal section of the papers, ramping up again. However, there are only 10 foreclosure deeds throughout Plymouth County recorded in January, more than the 9 in December, 100% more than the 5 last January because the moratorium was in place during COVID. But we're up 37% year to date. And I will say these numbers are still historically low from a difficult period in 2007 and 2008. But the numbers to really watch are in foreclosure notices. That is when the process begins. There were 57 foreclosure notices recorded in January, more than the 45 in December, 90% more than last January. But again, that was when there was a COVID moratorium. You're also going to see a listing here by every one of our 27 communities again for foreclosure deeds and orders of notice. There are a lot of zeros there throughout those towns on deeds and notices. But Brockton and Plymouth have traditionally been the communities most beset by either foreclosure deeds or orders of notice. So again, if you find yourself having some difficulty paying your mortgage, reach out to a federal housing counselor. Try to get them to do some kind of a modification that can help you stay in your home. It's well worth the effort to do it as early as you can. And I think you'll be satisfied that at least you've made the effort. Recent stories affecting the Plymouth County real estate market. There's a lot of fraud going out there in real estate. And if you think you may want to protect yourself, there's a way to go onto our website under at PlymouthDeeds.org, go to Resources, and click on Property Fraud Alert. If you enter your email, every time there's a document recorded against your email, it'll come up and you'll know about it. And it may be something that should have been recorded, like a discharge of a mortgage, but if it's not, better to know now than not know for a period of time. We're still electronic recording a lot of documents, recording documents over the internet, not in person. That really ramped up during COVID. It hasn't changed. About 80% of our recorded land documents are getting recorded over the internet, and about 50% of our registered land, land court land, is being recorded over the internet. There's also a warning you want to be aware of. There are companies out there that'll try to take advantage of your property that you own, and they'll tell you that you need a copy of your deed. And they can get a copy of your deed for $30, $40, $50, sometimes up to $90. Be aware that if you go to one of our 3 offices, you can get a copy of your deed for $1 a page. And another thing of note, we've talked about this before, all of our documents on the recorded side have been recorded, imaged, indexed, and the image is linked to the index. Do you put a name in, not only will the property come up and you can narrow it down to the correct one, but you'll also have the image of the document itself. So our documents go back in Plymouth County to 1685, when Plymouth County was broken off from Plymouth Colony. Plymouth Colony was split into Barnstable County, Bristol County, and Plymouth County. But our county records go back to 1685. We've been doing transcriptions all the way back from 1685. And now we have a link of a transcribed document to the original document all the way up to 1867, and we'll continue that. So that is what I have to say about our recording documents. I do not have a guest on this show. I'm going to move right into our well-known county and colony history. The holidays for the month of February, some of them have gone by. Groundhog Day on the 2nd, National Pizza Day on the 9th. The Super Bowl was on the 12th, as well as Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Valentine's Day on the 14th, Lithuanian Independence Day on the 16th, President's Day on the 20th, and also Washington's birthday on the 20th. Mardi Gras just passed on the 21st. Ash Wednesday was yesterday, and on we go. So we have a couple of notable land records related to those holidays. First one related to President's Day relates to one of our most famous presidents. It was the great-great-grandfather of Abraham Lincoln. Samuel Lincoln was Abraham's first American ancestor. Born in Hingham, England, Samuel emigrated to Hingham in 1622. He's credited with helping build Hingham's Old Ship Church, the oldest meeting house in continuous use in the United States. In 1649, Cornelius Canterbury deeded his dwelling house with 2 acres of land in Hingham at 170 North Street to Samuel Lincoln. The property is located across the street from an impressive statue of his grandson, Abraham Lincoln. And at the time the property was deeded to Samuel, Hingham was not part of Plymouth County, it was part of Suffolk County. So special thanks to Suffolk County Assistant Register Tom Ryan for helping us locate that transcript for this story. The next one, again, related to the holiday, is a fellow that grew up in Brockton. Many people remember that parts of Brockton were known as the Lithuanian Village. This fellow by the name of Admiral Bakutis grew up in the village. He went to Brockton High School, went to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, and he began a distinguished career as a highly decorated Navy fighter pilot in World War II. And as a commander of the naval forces at both the North and South Poles. He led a naval task force that recovered the Apollo 10, and he was on in his hometown when Mayor Jack Sims and Assistant City Solicitor Henry Fournette presented a time capsule in his honor to be placed in Antarctica. Brockton, USA Antarctica Naval Station, it was named after Brockton, still provides regular weather reports. The next county record that I want to talk about relates to Black History Month. The New Guinea settlement at Parting Ways. There's a cemetery and there's a site of a former settlement. It's an important site in Plymouth County's African American heritage, and it's located on the former location of the New Guinea settlement. In 1792, the town of Plymouth granted the use of 94 acres of land on the Plymouth-Kingston line to 4 black Revolutionary War soldiers, Cato Howe, Kwame Quash, Plato Turner, and Prince Goodwin, and they established a settlement which remained in place for them and their descendants all the way until 1908. It is believed that all 4 soldiers came to the United States from Guinea, Africa via Cape Verde. The site is located on Route 80 in West Plymouth, includes a marble tablet memorializing the settlement and the graves of these 4 African American veterans and foundations of their former buildings. The property is listed on the National Register of Historical Places and protected by federal and state laws. So the next one document you're going to see is a Plymouth colony record. And it looks like a lot of handwriting. Again, though they will be transcribed. But the colonial court ordered that whereas several persons have endangered other people by the keeping of guns, that the court ruled that they should not have their guns in their house except in enclosures, and that the guns shall be sufficiently enclosed so there's no hurting of man or beast. And if they did not, they would have to pay a fine of £5 to the colony for every default. So clearly, with that in the Book of Laws in 1670, has to be one of our first country's gun laws. Again, it's in the Book of Laws, Part 3, in 1670. So I want to thank Lorna Green Baker and Christine Richards for helping me put this show together. I want to thank the folks at Brockton Access for their help with the show. This is my 148th show. And today I had great help from Emma Reardon. But I also want to thank the many local providers out there in our communities in Plymouth County that share this show with the public, because for most people, their home is their most valuable asset. So we'll see you next month. Stay happy and healthy. Thank you.